What's good, everybody, and welcome back to Stone TV. I'm your host, Stone Hall, and if you've already read the caption and the title to this episode, then you already know what movie we're doing. Today is the first episode of Stone TV's 8 Days of Autumn, and we're talking about Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus is a 1993 supernatural comedy movie directed by Kenny Ortega and written by Mick Garris, Neil Cuthbert, and David Kirschner. I probably fucked up all those names, but you get the point. The movie follows a villainous trio of witches who, after being killed in 1693, are inadvertently resurrected by a teenage boy after lighting the black flame candle. The movie stars Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, her sexy ass. She's still bad to me, I don't give a fuck. Kathy Najimy, I'm fucking her name up. Omri Katz and Vanessa Shaw. I'm fucking all these names up because I can't pronounce any of them. So, whatever. Vanessa Shaw, Thora Birch, and Sean Murray. These white people got some fucked up ass names, bro. I swear I cannot pronounce any of these fucking names. Like, give me like some Sean's and Shaniquas and Nia and like Jamie or some shit. Like, I don't know. I said like the blackest names I could think of, but I don't know, bro. Whatever, fuck. Anyway, our movie begins on October 31st, 1693. In Salem, Massachusetts. After hearing the sounds of a witch's song, a song which is designed to lure children away from their homes, Zachary Binks, played by Murray, awakes to find his little sister Emily walking away into the woods by the three Sanderson sisters. Winifred, played by Midler, Sarah, played by Parker, oddly enough, and Mary, played by Najimy. Binks then confronts the witches, but fails to save his sister as she has already had the life sucked out of her, making the witches young again. Well, younger, as they like to point out. After that, Binks is transformed into a black cat by the witches and is cursed to live forever with the guilt of not having to save his sister. Now, I know that's kind of a fucked up ass curse to be given. You know, you think you're gonna go save your sister, and you fuck around, and she ends up dying. I mean, it's a fucked up thing. But throughout this episode, okay, I'm gonna point out just how dark this movie really is, and I'm gonna just beg the question. I'm just gonna ask the question now: what the fuck kind of movies was our parents allowing us to watch? I'm gonna watch. It gets even darker, bro. Check this out, okay? So Elijah, who is Zachary's best friend, and I'm assuming he's his best friend, he alerts the town of what has happened, and the townfolk arrest the sisters for the murder of Emily. However, before the sisters are killed for their crimes in the town square around everybody that's watching this go down, Winifred casts a spell that would resurrect her sisters during the full moon on All Hallows Eve if a virgin lights the black flame candle that's hidden in their cottage. Binks, now a cat, and unable to tell his father that he is alive, he is forced to watch the family. He is forced to watch as his family and all his loved ones grow old and die. Accepting his fate, Binks decides to guard the cottage so no one could bring the witches back to life and suffer the same fate that he has. Now, again, I will ask, what the fuck is up with these dark-ass movies? Now, this is only just the beginning. This is only the first episode of the 8 Days of Autumn, and it's already starting off with fucking soul-sucking witches, curses, and witches being hung. And when you think about it in that aspect, this is a dark movie, okay? If they were to make this movie again, and I mean like an actual reboot with like a serious vibe, these three bitches would not be somebody you would want to fuck with. I mean, they literally are sucking the souls out of children, okay, just so they can be young. Now, we've all heard these stories about how witches, they eat kids or whatever, right? But this is a Disney movie, okay? And in this movie, they are sucking the souls out of kids. And we all accepted it. Like it was nothing. like, what the fuck? This is a dope-ass movie. I love the movie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just saying, like, they're sucking souls out of kids. I mean, what do you want me to say? Like, it's some dark shit, okay? And it only gets worse from here, all right? 3 centuries later, October 31st, 1993. Shout out to the 90s babies, you feel me? Max Dennison, played by Katz, is a new kid from LA who moves into a town of Salem, Massachusetts. While in class, he hears the story of the Sanderson sisters and immediately thinks it's a bunch of bullshit. He doesn't believe in Halloween or the sisters. He thinks Halloween was made up by the candy company. He's not fucking with anything Halloween, and he damn sure don't believe in the sisters. In class, a classmate by the name of Allison Watts, played by Shaw, schools him on the history of Halloween, perfectly so, and the sisters she gave him a history on Halloween and the sisters, prompting him to make a G-ass move, which was a solid-ass move. That's just my opinion. He makes a G-ass move and gives her his number in front of the whole class. Now, while on his way home, Max G status goes from here to here when he gets jacked by his shoes by these 2 local wannabe thugs who are dumber than a bag of rocks, who basically can give fucking Bulk and Skull a run for their money for just how dumb they are. And when he gets home, he yells at his parents for making him move to a city where he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be in this city, and they got him in this fucking witchy ass town where he doesn't want to be, and he's mad about it. I mean, rightfully so, whatever, right? Later that night, Max is forced to take his little sister Danny, played by Birch, out trick-or-treating, where they run into the bullies who took his shoes and are trying to jack Danny for her candy. Max, being her older brother, defends his sister by offering up his own bag of candy, but yells at Danny for embarrassing him in front of them. She decided to make fun of his costume, and they made fun of him for going trick-or-treating with his little sister. And, and he said some shit to her about get out of his life and all this other shit. And, it made her sad. It hurt her feelings. So saddened by her brother's words, Danny cried and says she wants to go home. Max now feeling like a piece of shit because, I mean, that kind of was a piece of shit ass move. He apologizes to his sister and the two continue trick-or-treating. While going door to door, they accidentally run into Allison at her house, where Danny yet again embarrasses him. I don't know why she loves doing this throughout this whole movie. Embarrassing him by mentioning the fact that Max be fantasizing about her titties. In the movie, like as a kid, I think we all knew what the fuck she was getting at, where she was like, "Oh, he loves your yabos," or whatever the fuck she said. And I think everybody knows exactly what it is. He's like, he fantasizes about your yabos and he loves them and all this other shit. And it's like, yabos is either titties or ass, but I'm assuming it's tits. So I'm just assuming that, again, she just likes embarrassing this nigga for no reason. Allison laughs it off as if she is kind of flattered by his thoughts. And, she loves the fact that I guess he's at the house thinking about her tits, I guess. The three of them continue talking as Danny mentions that she has just learned about the sisters in school and decides that she wanted to be a witch because of it. Allison states that she knows all about the sisters and her mom used to work at a museum about them, but it's closed down. And at this moment, Max suggests that they go over there because he still doesn't believe that the sisters are real. Now, against Danny's better judgment, Max convinces her to come with them to visit the former Sanderson cottage. now an abandoned museum, where Max learns that the candle, not only is the candle real, but the book and the sisters are real too. And he learns that if he lights the candle, that only a virgin who lights the candle can bring the sisters back. Now, Max still not believing that the sisters are real. He's like, yeah, there's a candle here, there's a book, there's the story, there's the cottage, but none of that shit really matters to me. All that shit's still fake. I'm finna light this fucking candle just to prove to you that this shit ain't real. So Max still not believing that the sisters are real. His dumb ass lights the candle and accidentally resurrects the sisters in the process. Now, the sisters are now alive and still young from the life force that they sucked out of Emily back in 1693. They are now attempting to suck the soul out of Danny. But Max, being her older brother, comes to her rescue by setting off the fire alarm, the spring water system, and making the witches think that they are melting. Now, I'm going to say this. This is just my interpretation or my my outlook on Max. Okay, Max is an angry kid. All right, he is upset that his parents have made him move to a town where he doesn't want to be, where he doesn't celebrate Halloween, but everybody else does, and he hates the fact that he has to live here and just wants to go back home. All right. However, because he's falling in love, or he has a crush on this girl, Allison, he now feels like maybe this is where he wants to be, only because she's here. Now, my thought process is, this is just another classic case of a teenage boy using the wrong head to allow them to make decisions that they normally wouldn't make. Because if he wasn't so interested in trying to show off for Allison, his no getting pussy ass probably wouldn't have lit the fucking candle in the first place. But I guess if he hadn't, then there wouldn't have been a movie. So, whatever. Now, my question is, as far as the sisters go, with them being returned, my question is, how the fuck do they think they are melting when they've never had that issue in the past? I mean, granted, they never showed that, but I mean, it's fucking water. And as far as I'm concerned, they've never alluded to the fact that these niggas are, that their weakness is water. I mean, you would think so, right? You like watching The Wizard of Oz, that kind of thing. You would think that, they would melt by water. But these bitches got watered on. They got sprinkled, the water came down and shit. They're, I'm melting type shit. And talk about it hurts and all the other shit. How the fuck does it hurt? If you I don't know, I never understood that. Like just in the lore period, witches melt by water. That means these bitches don't take showers. That's why they green and they stink and shit. Like, I'm just trying to I don't know. Sarah looked like, you know what I mean? She's like, I had to probably take one for the team, because if she was thinking, I let her suck my soul. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. She could suck something else while she's sucking the soul. You know what I mean? My bad. My bad. Anyway, after escaping, Max steals Winifred's spell book on the advice from the immortal cat Binks. Bink takes the group into an old cemetery where they are protected from the witches, since it is considered hollow ground. The witches eventually catch up to them at the cemetery, where Winifred raises her former lover, Billy, from the grave and sends him after the children. Now, the witches pursue the children across town using Mary's enchanted sense of smell, when Winifred reveals that the spell that brought them back only works for Halloween, and unless they can suck the life out of at least one child, they will turn into dust when the sun rises. After failing to get the help of a guy who they thought was a cop, but was actually just a guy in a costume, the kids escape to a party where the parents are attending, and they try to tell them about the sisters, even going as far as crashing the party's performers and shining a spotlight on them in the middle of the crowd. However, Winifred takes the advantage of this by singing a spell-casting song where she forces the entire party to dance until they die, including Max's and Danny's parents. Now, okay, in this scene, okay, this is another thing where Danny, for some reason, likes to embarrass her brother. And I didn't mention it as I was, going over this scene. But when they met the cop, she immediately was like, my brother lit the candle and he's a virgin. Why the fuck is that public information? Even the cop was like, are you a virgin? And Danny was like, Max was like, yeah, I'm a fucking virgin. Do I need to get it tatted on my forehead? I mean, like, it's just fucking like, I don't know. It's like classic little sister bullshit. Like, I don't know. These motherfuckers are playing this so well. She was an annoying little sister, but it's like, why the fuck do you keep telling everybody I'm a virgin? Why do you keep embarrassing me in front of people? Like, I don't understand. Like, if you weren't my little sister, I'll let the witches kill you. I promise you I would. Like, you're annoying me. You keep telling everybody I'm a fucking virgin, and then I lit the candle. Like, this is not public information that I need the whole town to fucking know about. Especially the bitch I'm trying to fuck. Like, she don't need to know I'm a virgin. Like, what the fuck? And my question is, too, when Max asked her to light the candle and she said no, is that because she's not a virgin? Or she just didn't want to do it because she believed the story is real? I don't know. I think she was probably wasn't a virgin and shit. Because she was like, nah, I don't think so. I don't want to light the candle. Yeah, but if you would have lit the candle, would that motherfucker have even been lit in the first place? I don't know. Makes you wonder, right? Now, moving on from that, I will say this, okay? I don't care what anybody says. This part where Winifred sings this song and gets everybody to dance until they die, this is actually my favorite part in the entire movie. Because it shows just how powerful Winifred and her sisters actually are. I don't think I've ever seen another movie about a witch, or anybody for that matter, that sings a song. And the song that they are singing is a spell that they are casting to make everybody dance until they die. I just thought that it was a dope-ass testament to how powerful they actually are and could be if they were to be successful in their mission and staying alive past Halloween night. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm like, fuck. All they did was sing a song. And she casted a spell on these niggas to dance until they die. Like, just think about it. Casting a spell, having somebody dance until they die, is like probably one of the worst curses I've ever heard in a children's movie. That, she literally was like, dance until you die. And everybody is in there boogieing their ass off. And by the end of this movie, everybody comes out of there, they're all sweaty. There's no way nobody didn't die in that damn room, because dancing until you die sounds like somebody's definitely going to die. That's just what it is. Somebody's going to die, and it doesn't know. I don't know who it's going to be, but somebody's gonna get it, and that's just what it is. But I thought that was like the dopest part of the movie. Just the testament to their power for real. Like, could you imagine what it would be like? Because one, okay, they have a song where they lure kids, okay? That's already a powerful thing, all right? They have this potion where they can suck the life out of kids so they can be young. That's the second powerful thing they did, all right? Third powerful thing they did was cast a spell so that if a virgin lights a candle, they come back, all right? And then the fourth powerful thing they did in this movie was sing a song to make everybody dance until they die. Like, these witches are fucking strong as fuck. And I can only imagine how strong they would have been if they would have survived this entire movie. You know what I mean? And there's no spoilers. If you haven't seen this movie by now, fuck you. That's on you. But this is the fact that they did all that, and it's not even, the movie ain't even over yet. And they just got there. Just let you know that these bitches ain't the ones you want to fuck with. I'm just saying. I'm going to go as far as to even say I don't even think Twitches can fuck with these bitches. Like, that's just, that's just what I'm saying. But whatever. After escaping once again, the kids lure the sisters into a high school where they trap the witches into a pottery oven and burn them alive. Now, you would think that this would be over, right? Yeah, keep listening. The children, now thinking that they killed the sisters, they begin to celebrate and head home. However, while the children are celebrating, and attempting and trying to get some rest, the witch's curse revives them once again, and they come back to life. Okay. Now realizing the witches have survived, Max and Allison open the book. Not realizing the witches have survived, Max and Allison open the spell book, hoping to reverse the spell on Binks in order for him to be able to pass on. But unfortunately, when they open the book, it reveals the location and the witches track them down. The witches blast through the house and they kidnap Danny and Binks in the process and recover the spell book. Now having the power of the book, Sarah uses her songs to lure the children of Salem to the Sanderson's cottage, and they all begin to walk out of their homes again, and showing just how powerful they are. Because in the beginning, right, maybe it was because they're old, I don't know, but in the beginning, they only took one kid. They only needed one kid, but they only took one kid out of the entire village. All right. Now, 300 years later and younger, they've taken a whole city of kids. Again, these bitches are powerful, bro. These are not just regular ass bitches. Like, what kind of song could you use to hypnotize an entire city? You know how big Salem, Massachusetts is? That entire little city, they took every child that heard her song and lured them all to their fucking cottage. All right. That shit, man, I'm just impressed. I'm watching it as an adult. I'm just impressed on how much that they actually put into the power that these witches actually have, right? While attempting to suck out Danny's soul, Max and Allison arrive and frees Danny and Binks by tricking the witches into believing that the sun has coming up an hour early. Because at this point, they only have an hour until the sun rises. Thinking that they are done for, the witches panic and pass out. Again, I think you should know the difference between a sun and headlights. But although they end up escaping again, my thing is, as powerful as they are, these bitches are also dumb as fuck. I mean, you think you're dying from water, and you're not. You think you're dying from the sun, and you're not. And you don't know the fucking difference between a sun and a headlight? I mean, you may not know what a headlight is, but it doesn't mean you should know what fucking sun power feels like, at least, or something. I don't know. I'm just saying, some just don't feel right, but they dumb as fuck. They powerful as fuck, but they dumb as hell. Arriving back at the cemetery, Billy catches up with the children, but instead of killing them, he takes Max's knife, cuts his stitched mouth open, and insults Winifred before joining the children against the witches, turning out to be a good guy the whole time. He never wanted to kill the kids. He really just wanted to be able to stick it to Winifred and let her know, I like fucking your sister better. Because here's the thing. She cursed her own husband, put him in the grave, and then brought him back to life to do her bidding. Now, the only reason why she ended up cursing him and killing him was because he slept with her sister, Sarah. Again, Sarah Jessica Parker is the baddest bitch in this movie. I probably would have slept with her too and taken that curse and been okay with that shit. Because, like I said, she want to suck something. She can suck the soul out this. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Moving on. Anyway, the witches riding around on broom, a mop, and a vacuum cleaner because some badass little kids stole their broom somewhere in town. They attack from the sky and snatch Danny from the ground. Winifred attempts to use the last vial of potion to suck the soul out of Danny, but Binks knocks the potion out of her hand, which Max catches it and drinks it, forcing the witch to take him instead of Danny. Now, throughout this movie, although Danny has been an annoying little sister, Max has shown time and time again how he will sacrifice and stick up for his little sister no matter what. And that, to me, I think lets you know just they have a true brother and sister relationship. My sisters are all older than me. If I was ever put in this situation, I would probably sacrifice my life for them because that's kind of what your brother would do, young or old. You know what I mean? You protect your sisters, and Max is doing exactly that. You know what I mean? He sacrificed himself to save his sister, and that, I think any other brother would do so. When the sun starts to rise, however, just as Winifred is about to finish draining Max's life force, because you can literally see his soul being sucked out of his body, Allison, Danny, and Billy fend off Mary and Sarah. Max and Winifred struggle in the air and fall onto the hollow ground into the cemetery, causing Winifred to turn into stone. As the sun finishes rising above the horizon, Mary and Sarah are disintegrated into dust along with Winifred's stone body. With the witches now dead, Binks's curse has been broken, allowing him to finally die and freeing his soul, reuniting him with Emily as they both head off into the afterlife. While Billy returns to his grave to sleep once more, Winifred's spellbook opens his eye, revealing that it is still alive, indicating that the witches could possibly return someday. And of course, we all know they did, because they made Hocus Pocus 2, which came out, but that's a story for another day. Now, I love this movie. I know a lot of people probably don't, but I don't give a fuck. I think this movie is a perfect balance of kid-friendly and adult theme, and these were the kind of movies that we grew up on. I asked, though, are these the kind of movies we should have been watching? Because when you watch them as an adult, you see all the dark themes in this thing, and you see all the adult jokes that go on in here, you know, and I question whether or not our parents were actually making a good decision by having us watch this shit, but I also thank God that they did allow us to watch it, because we wouldn't have the good memories that we do from watching these movies. Hocus Pocus is a great movie. If your children have not seen it, I do recommend that you show them. I think it's a dope-ass movie. I think it's going to stand the test of time. When I watched it as a kid, I gave it a 10 out of 10 nostalgic rating for nostalgia. When I was a kid, it was a 10 out of 10. For a nostalgic rating, I give it a 10 out of 10. Watching it as an adult, I give it about an 8 or a 9. Simply because there are some parts in this movie that kind of irritated me, like how dumb the sisters were. I didn't realize how dumb they were. As a kid, I just thought it was some funny shit, but as an adult, it's kind of retarded. Danny, although she's a cool little sister, she's very fucking annoying. And if I had a little sister like that, or if I knew a little kid like that, I don't know if I give her up to the witches if she was my sister, but if she was just a little kid that I didn't really give a fuck about and had no ties to, I would have gave her up a long time ago. Like I said, I thought, it's about an 8 or a 9 for me. Would I rewatch it? Of course. I watch it every year. My son loves the movie. And if your kids have not seen it, I suggest you show them, you know? And that's all I really got to say. I mean, the movie's a good movie. If I went a little too fast for you, I'm sorry. But, it's not a lot to really say about this movie. You know, it's a good movie. You know, it really is. I think the sisters are very powerful. I think what they've done and showing how powerful they can be or could have been was perfectly executed. The movie was written really good, and the CGI still holds up to this day too. It's fucking phenomenal. But I think it's a good movie, and if you have not seen it, if your kids haven't seen it, watch it. What the fuck you waiting on? So that's it, man. Thank you for listening. This is my review on Hocus Pocus. Like I said, the very first episode of the Stone TV's 8 Days of Autumn. Tomorrow, I will be doing another episode. And, you know, be on the lookout for that. And yeah, man, let's get it, man.